pleasant day to each and everyone. To our instructor, Architect Evan Jones C. Nabaunad, UAP, sir. To our fellow classmates, and most especially to our guest architect, Architect Joshua M. Bakutan III. Sir,
Good evening.
din po.
So, before we proceed to our heart-to-heart interview, we would like first to introduce ourselves as the interviewee for today's gathering. So, I am Junal Ann Abarquez.
And I am John Michael S. Bayani po.
I am Rizabella Pahanono. And I am Julian Paragatos.
And we are BS Architecture 4A from SSU Main Campus. And good
Yeah.
day, sir.
Good
so,
day po, sir.
back to you, Michael.
Yes, thank you. Now let us introduce our guest architect. Slide please. So, Architect Joshua M. Bakutan III, UAP. He is graduated in Eastern Visayas State University, EBSU year 2018, batch Sinagtala. He's a former intern at LLBG and SMSG Architecture Interior and Design Studio, May 2018 to July 2018. Sir, please correct us if we are wrong, sir po. Bingkola po kasi namon nini na info mo po ha FB po.
Okay. It's book 2 and I will help you pronounce my family name. It's book 2 and I will po.
Yes, sir. Sige po. So, he's a former chapter public relation officer at UAPGA Eastern Visayas chapter. We all know what is UAPGA. On July 2018 to June 2019. He's also a former junior designer at Ideal Builders Development Corporation, August 2018 to October 2019. And he is also a chapter president at UAPGA Eastern Visayas, chapter September 2019 to June 2020. Next.
He is also a former architecture apprentice at DM Fontebella Incorporation, Architects and Associates on October 2019 to January 2021. He is also the Associate Architect at DM Fontebella Incorporation, Architect and Associates past DM Fontebella Incorporation Architects and Associates and UAPGA Eastern Visayas Chapter. So, back to you, Michael.
Dagdag lang po, no? He's an Ali passer, then June. Very recent lang po. Congrats,
Yes.
sir.
Congrats, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congrats po, sir. Congrats, sir. Okay, so his favorite color is be a thermostat instead of being a thermometer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good day po, Architect. Thank you po for allowing us na ma-interview po kayo, no, today. It is our greatest honor for us to be able to meet you po. Again, thank you po.
Po.
Now, let us proceed to our questions po. Are you ready po, Architect? Okay po.
Sir.
Great, sir. Now, we have here 20 questions about your journey, being an architecture student, and now that you are an already licensed architect. So, let's start po, no? So, question number 1, sir. Clear po yung boses namin, sir?
Yes. Loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you po. Okay, question number 1 po. Was being an architect is your ultimate dream?
Yes. The short answer, yes. It has been my dream. It has been what was instilled to me since I was a kid because my parents saw the potential that mag-create yan mag-drawing, try being an architect. So from that day on, since as a child, I wanted to become an architect, and my parents gave me opportunities to enhance the skills, to enhance the talent that I have. And yes, since I was a kid, I wanted to become an architect.
Wow, that was a great answer.
It starts from a hobby and
Yeah.
become a profession.
Yes.
Meron kasing parang napipilitan lang, sir, no? So, next question po tayo. What were the steps you took in becoming the architect you are today?
First, of course, yes. Of course, to pass all the subjects, to graduate, of course. Uh, Actually, it's the graduating BS architecture is the easy. It's the easy work. And
Did you have, sir, any failing subject, or did you failed any subject?
uh, well, technically, I did not fail, but I, I once took a removal exam in professional practice.
Mm.
It, I think if I remember it correctly, I had a removal in prof prac and design. I had because my grade was 3.1 or 3.2, such a very small difference.
Same, sir, same.
Actually. So such a small difference, but we have to follow the instructors. We have to follow these guidelines. And to answer the question, the steps that I took is after I graduated, I knew for myself that I still lack a lot of knowledge. So once I graduated, I tried to look for a mentor because I wanted the kind of architect to be knowledgeable not only in design but also in the different aspects in designing, such as the building utilities and uh, planning, not just merely architectural design itself. I wanted to be familiar. I wanted to know these allied engineering uh, services that we outsource in our actual practice. And during my apprenticeship, this was my goal. I wanted to have the mind of an architect because when I graduated, I had the mind of a draftsman. Mabilis ako mag-draft. Walang problema. Pero once I graduated, I wanted to have the mind of an architect. And now that I have the mind of an architect, I wanted to have a mind of a contractor. Because being a draftsman, being an architect, being a contractor, they have different mindsets.
Yes,
They,
sir.
the way they see, the way they forecast a project is very different. So what's important is you need to have a goal, not just follow, ano, especially when you're a student, you have all the steps laid out right in front of you. So without having a goal, you can graduate BS architecture. But in order to become an architect, you need to set a goal for yourself. So while students, it's really best to set a goal for yourself. What do you want to become when you graduate? And what do you need to do? So if 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 it requires you to have further research than the subjects laid out in front of you in the academy, then go ahead, do your research. Uh, for me, I watch TED Talks because I'm very visual. I do not like reading. So I watch TED Talks from time to time. If I do not feel uninspired in doing a plate, I watch TED Talks related to architecture. So by the time I'm filled with inspiration, I'm already tired from watching all these TED Talks, then I end up sleeping. So it's very important to have a goal and evaluate yourself. Acknowledge your limitations in setting your goal so that you can accept the steps, the realistic steps you need to do. For me, what was the question again? The steps that I took to be in becoming an architect, right?
Yes, sir.
So the steps that I took in becoming an architect to sum it up is first pass the graduate and then learn everything that I could in actual construction during my apprenticeship because I know the university can teach me everything. So I wanted to fill all that is lacking through my apprenticeship. So I extended. My apprenticeship lasted for around like almost 3 years. last pandemic. So yun.
But it was all worth it naman, di ba, sir? Look at that. You're now a professional architect license.
Yes.
Di ba, sir?
Majority of the exam comes from
But it was
apprenticeship.
worth it, di ba, sir?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. So,
Nakaka-
first to question pala, bagan ko na. Medyo motivated na kagad tayo ah.
Marami na agad naka-generalize na.
Okay daw. So, next question po tayo, sir. So, what was the greatest hindrance you experienced during architecture class? And how did you overcome them?
During architecture class, by that I assume you mean the whole 5 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, of course, it was on the 5th year because it sums up everything you have learned in the first 4 years of your study. For me, it was the thesis. Aside from the exams, aside from conference, it was the thesis. Because the thesis is like a plate that lasts for a whole sem. So this is where you showcase what you have learned in your research and your design, your planning skills, of course. So for me, that was the hardest. Presentations alone is very hard.
Okay po, sir. Thank you. That was a wonderful answer. My God. So,
Good luck sa
next po
atin,
kita, sir.
guys.
Good luck sa atin o good luck?
Good luck sa atin. 5th
I
year.
hope
Next
Bye.
year. Hopefully.
you had a follow-up question on how did I overcome this obstacle.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I will share to you what my thesis advisor shared to us because our thesis was by group. Is your thesis by group still now? Because for us it was a group of 3. So I you individual.
Yung sir, group gyapon po.
Yeah,
Oh,
by threes,
mga
By 5.
mga
five.
5 sir. Opo.
Okay. So you have a lot of manpower. So what my thesis advisor said was, do not overcomplicate things. Keep your thesis as simple as possible. Because you have objectives of the study.
Yes, sir.
Be clear on what you want to address. Be clear on the issues you want to address. You don't have to address everything. You don't have to please everybody. You just have to be clear on your objectives. It's okay to have 3, depending on what's the minimum required number of objectives. But if it's okay to have 3, then have 3 clear objectives. Then address them. Try to not overcomplicate stuff because simplicity alone is sophistication. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication.
Thank you sir
Thank
for
you,
that
sir.
advice. Ngayon may na-adman good kami.
Yes.
Magagamit
Magagamit
talaga.
talaga. Lalo na mga 5th year.
Yes sir.
Unta, mag 5th year.
So,
Sabi ko,
yeah. Next question po kita sir no.
okay.
What are the things you want to install in the minds of young and aspiring architects? Haamon sir.
Jen.
Kanla sir, bisad kanla. Pagpatuloy.
I think I think this will be what will I share to you because it has a great impact for me. It's acknowledge your limitations. Know and acknowledge your limitations. Know and acknowledge your weaknesses and strengths. Because, let's say for me, example, I'm colorblind. So as an architect, it's very hard
Hard, yes.
because we need colors.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
colors in our design. So how do I do with that?
How do you cope up with that, sir?
So for me, I'm very weak in color combinations. So what I did is uh, during my apprenticeship in Architect Fontobella, I understood his taste in colors. What goes with what texture goes with this color? What finish? What type of texture goes with this kind of color? So I understood what his design preference, and I applied it on my own. And being specific, I have a set of color pens, and I have my own personal way of labeling them so that I can identify what these colors are. This is this group is from light blue to dark blue. This group is from yellow to orange, something like that. So I have my own way of labeling colors because I recognize color by memorization. So if the particular hue is outside, is not the very common hue. For example, the typical red. It's a very recognizable hue. Even in games involving colors, in colorblind mode, red can be recognized. But if you shift the hue from red to a particular shade of pink or scarlet, then it's very hard for me to recognize because it's not apparent color. So that's my way of overcoming my colorblindness. And of course, I consult my friends who are not colorblind. From time to time, I chat them. What color is this? Because I want to double check. I have my own opinion on what color that thing is, but I want to double check.
Sir, that was amazing of you. Truly.
Grabe,
Nakakabilib.
technique na.
You have to acknowledge your limitation so that you know what you need to work on. It's the same thing during the review. I know that I am weak in history and theory because they require a lot of memorization, unlike building tech that I can use my experiences during my apprenticeship. So that's why during my review I studied history and theory first. So I grouped all the subjects that I'm weak at, and then I studied them first. So you're the only person who knows best on what your weaknesses are, and you're the only person that can evaluate and take steps and list the steps that you need in order to overcome this. So manage your limitations and weaknesses. Don't be ashamed. Don't be insecure with other people na magaling siya sa design, ako hindi. No. Acknowledge it. And then use that fuel to grow, to move forward.
Dapat may tiwala sa sarili.
Yes.
Yes.
Because complaining is the easiest thing to do. Eh. Complaining is the easiest thing to do. Now, working on that particular problem takes wisdom. It takes courage. Because complaining is a cop-out. You don't want to work on something because it's hard, you just complain. You don't work on it.
Yes, sir.
So, it's okay to complain, but don't dwell on that particular problem.
Yes. That's right.
Kaya kailangan confident talaga kita.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Confidence is very important.
Review din sa mga weaknesses. Enhance. So, sir, now, let's proceed to the next question, sir. So, can you tell us about your preparation in taking the architecture licensure examination?
Preparation. First, uh, everything is hard. Everything that you do is hard if it doesn't have plans. That's why as architects, we draw because drawing is the language of construction. So we draw, we plan everything so that when it is implemented on site, it will not be hard, it will not be costly for the owner, right? The same thing in the review. You find reviewing hard because you don't have plans. So you set plans. For me, I set a schedule uh, for this particular duration of time. I will study these subjects. My style was I would study a different subject in the morning and different subject in the afternoon. Because if you study one subject for the whole day, you will end up procrastinating because you will end up being bored. Sumhanong kita. So yun. So that was my strategy. And I divided the time I have in all the subjects that I needed to study. And then I stopped. I made it sure to stop studying a month before the exam. Uh, I made it sure that a month before the exam I will not read anymore, but rather I will answer past Ali questions. So I purchased in a past board exam questionnaires from Shopee. So some of them have answer keys, some of them don't. So I didn't really care if it had answer keys
Was
because
it helpful, sir?
oh, it's very very helpful. You can read, you can all you wanting to review and still fail.
How many months, sir, does it took you to for the review, sir?
I think I studied for like a year because I was delayed in the pandemic. We got caught in the pandemic. So then discouragement came, and then I decided, nah, what's the point of studying if the exam is going to be delayed? Is the exam going to happen at all? So that was my mindset. Most of us were discouraged during that time. So I ended up studying for around a year. So yun, during my review, you plan ahead.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Pag
you,
walang
sir.
mahirap lahat.
Mm.
It goes in relationships as well. Pag walang katutungan.
Nahuli
Dapat
si sir.
kasamang sinta.
Kasi,
Wow!
5 AU, ah. So, next question, sir, would be, what is the greatest challenge you encountered being an architecture student?
Being an architecture student. If is this different from the thesis one that I shared earlier?
Yes.
I think it was acknowledging my weaknesses because I think it was the time realizing what I'm weak at and accepting it. For me, it was really hard because as a student, I had a mindset that I needed to excel in everything to graduate, something like that.
So, next question would be asked by our fellow classmate,
yes, sir. Isabella
Isabella
and
and
Julia.
Julian.
Pas na yung
Yes,
mic.
naman.
Good evening again, sir. So, ano, Julian. So, sir, here are my some questions for you po. So, in architecture profession, is there a need for competition?
Is there what? Sorry?
In architecture profession, is there a need for competition?
Competition? Yes. Because without competition, you will get bored. You will not grow without competition. If you want to grow, put pressure in your life. Nobody grows in convenience. Getting out of your comfort zone is the key in growing and improving yourself in any skill, in any field. So competition, friendly competition, not the toxic one. Competition allows you to push your limits, to see the edge of what can you really do. And of course, your fellow competitors help you. Uh, what they excel at, you learn from it. That's what I also did when I was a student. I'm not, I'm only okay in design, the ones who mamang mag-render. So what I did was I joined design competitions because it was by group, right?
Wow.
I joined design competitions, and what I did was I observed the other team. How do they do? That was my goal. I didn't care about winning. I joined any competitions I can. So I look at their technique. How do they
Mhm.
draw? How do they make it so uh, visually has a lot of visual impact, and how do they plan everything? That was my goal. I just wanted to learn. That's why I joined this competitions, and that's why I became an officer, an active officer in UAPSA. All of that because I wanted to learn. Because I know that these are the things that the academy will not teach you.
Mm.
Learn as much as you can in the environment you are.
Be observant.
Be observant
Be
talaga.
observant.
So thank you, sir, for that. My next question po is, how do consultants such as engineers impact our design decisions?
May
Napatawa sila.
architect na engineer involved na.
Ay, dyan, Christy, dyan! How engineers, we need to look, we need to see these engineers as partners rather than the people who oppose our design. Because that's why we have backgrounds in allied engineering, right? Because we can, so that we can consolidate our design with their point of view. We need to see the way they see, so that we can design holistically. And engineers provide architects a sense of clarity in the overall design, especially in structural. For me, it's structural building. But it's very nice if you try to incorporate uh, a structural engineer's perspective in your architectural design. Well, we have this structural conceptualization as specialized services. And we also use that kind of approach in our preliminary schematics design. So yeah, the engineers give us a clarified perspective
Mhm.
when it comes to details, when it comes to all aspects of the design. Because architects see the whole picture, and then engineers move in a specific point of view. So it's like macro to micro, something like that.
Wow, thank you,
In
sir.
a way, they complete us.
Yeah,
It's not a
that's very
competition.
informative.
They're partners, not
Partners.
competitors.
Yes.
Yes. So, for my next question po. In spite of the challenges you've been through before becoming an architect, what are the driving forces that motivate you to achieve your goal?
Driving forces that motivate me in achieving my goal. Money. No.
Number one.
Number one.
Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong in being motivated with money, because who doesn't want to be rich? The
Mm.
point is, don't be consumed by greed. Because everyone desires to be financially independent someday. One of the driving forces is, of course, to be financially independent, and to the other is to really grow in this gift that I have, because I don't want to be the kind of architect who just settles in for this. I'm very comfortable in this part of growth in my life. You no longer have the desire to pursue and grow further.
Mhm.
I want to learn more.
Mm.
So it's money and learning. So these two.
That was very motivating.
Number one
Honest.
yun talaga. Number one.
Number
One. Money talaga.
Mm-mm. Okay, so architect profession is a serious job, demands commitment and passion. What are your ways to stay on track and comply with these demands?
First of all, be disciplined. Discipline is our number one
Discipline.
factor,
Mm-mm.
because how can you be committed? You can be passionate all you want. Everyone is passionate in their own way. You can be passionate all you want, but it takes discipline to be committed, because not every day you are passionate. Not every day you have the drive to complete a particular task or to finish a schedule. It takes discipline. You you won't be successful if you're going to base your productivity on your feelings. "Ah, I don't feel like doing it. I'm not going to do it." If you're tired, okay, you rest, but do not stop.
Discipline.
Oh, procrastinator. Procrastinator, Risa.
Maybe the like.
Uh, I think that's what I did when I had my review. I tell you, during your review, you will have off days. You will have days that it's either you're so discouraged or you just don't feel like reading. For me, I allow myself to have that kind of feeling,
Mm-mm.
because I don't think it will do me good if I do not take my time to process that stuff. So what I did is I allow myself an off day or a lazy day for just one day. I do not do lazy days for 2 consecutive days, because it will break down. It will destroy the habit that I have worked hard on.
Yes.
It's very hard to work on a habit to read as scheduled, and then just because you procrastinated for 2 straight days, you had the difficulty in going back to schedule again. So no, for me, it takes 2 days to break a habit,
Yeah, that was
and to
really
establish a habit, it takes what, a month, 2 weeks. So all that time you've been working hard on will be wasted. So I allow myself only one day of an off day.
Mm.
And that's
Okay.
Sunday aside, because Sunday was a rest day for me.
Okay, sir. Thank you for that, sir.
Schedule.
So,
Holiday, Sunday, church day.
my last question po, sir, is what do you think are the reasons why building codes are important on designing a project?
Uh, Building codes, no, not only building. By building codes, I mean you refer to building laws. So like these are your fire codes, your 5344, uh, what else? The National Building Code itself, and among others. And these sets of laws help you to design a human-centered approach.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you take away the National Building Code itself, you will end up, for example, if you're designing a commercial building, you will end up designing a building maximized for profit. So you're not considering the people, the users, the end users. So
Yeah.
these codes allow you to have restraints, and these restraints in turn push your creativity as an architect in the way you plan and solve design problems.
Yes. Okay, next. Thank you po, sir. That is my last question for
These
you po.
codes are very important to avoid fines.
Okay, so next question, sir, is do clients just ruin your brilliant designs? How?
I'm sorry.
Do clients just ruin your brilliant designs? How?
You mean binabasura nila?
Ruin, sir.
Ruin. Kasi sometimes may ina-add sila na di naman necessary or
Yeah.
Design is a matter of preference. Design is a matter of taste, at least when we're speaking aesthetically. But if architects don't, I mean, clients do not ruin the designs of the architect, because in the first place, it is the client that has the vision for the project. Because the architect can't do anything if the client does not have a vision. What do you want? Client, what do you want? See, so we have to we need to be the kind of architect that acknowledges, that believes in the visions of the client. Because our role as an architect is not to express our brilliant ideas, not just that. Our primary role is to interpret the needs of the client,
The safety.
consolidate it with the building codes, and then uh, produce it in a form of drawings. So that's our primary role, to interpret the vision, the needs of the client in a functional way, into a functional sculpture.
Yes.
um,
So, follow-up question, sir. Um, have you dealt with an obstinate client? How do you cope up with stress when dealing with obstinate client?
Obstinate, you mean ignorant, right?
Stubborn.
Stubborn.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, it's not ourselves that we have to please, it's the client. Otherwise, we don't get paid.
talaga kon.
Silang masusunod.
Yeah.
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 Mahabang pasensya, mahabang pasensya.
How do we
Tapos pag
deal
may
with this?
problema,
The best we can do to a client is to educate them. Because we can't enforce them our design preference. Client, mas maganda yung finish nito eh. The best thing we can do is educate the client. Client, this finish is better for a ramp because it's an unskid path. There's more traction on the wheelchair. So something like that. So we can educate the client, we can provide options, but the final decision will be on the client.
sir, paano kung stubborn talaga, sir? Like, na gimpush nila yung gusto nilang gawin, tas nagka-problema, like, nag-collapse, tas isisi sa architect. Yes, sir.
It depends on the contract kasi. If during the design phase, the client really wants to enforce his preference, then you can just follow it. But of course, with proper steps. You need to get the approval of the engineer if it's a structural issue, something like that. So again, the client can enforce what he or she wants, can be aggressive about that. But we also have to we uh, we know that we are liable in our design, so we also need to enforce, to educate the client on doing what's right.
I agree.
What the client knows isn't necessarily what is right. So ikaw yung may alam. At the end of the day, there are times na babatuin sa'yo ng client na, alam mo pala kung ano yung tama ba't hindi mo ginawa? Something like that.
Ganun talaga.
That's the best thing we can do, educate the client and provide options.
Okay, sir. Thank you for that wonderful answer. Next question is from the famous phrase, customers are always right. Do you really think that clients are always right? Why?
No, clients are not always right. It's the same thing with customers are always right. Uh, in my own perspective, if that's what customers say when they are spoiled. No, I'm the paying customer. I want this. I'm paying you, architect. You follow this. Remember, the client hired you as an architect, not as a draftsman. So act what you are. You have to
My
remember
next
that.
question, sir, is do I really need to get license?
By law, yes. To practice architecture, yes,
Yeah.
by law. In RA 9266, we're required to have a license. An architect must be licensed and registered.
Yes, that's right, sir. I agree. My last question, sir, is in school we get a bad grade for mistakes. I am sure that the cost is much higher in practice. How do you not make mistakes in your drawings?
Let me rephrase that. You always make mistakes in your drawings.
No.
Architect Palafox, when we had him as a guest in our seminar, he said to us that I'd rather revise on paper than in computer. So as students, as students, we were trained hindi dibdibin yung mga mistakes on paper, especially if manual drafting.
Yes, sir.
That's what we are trained for.
Yeah.
We should not use heart when there are a lot of revisions in drawings. Because I tell you, there's no firm, there's no architectural firm in this world that has no mistakes in drawings. There's going to be details, some nitty gritties that you will end up overlooking. So the key is to revise them while they are still drawings.
Okay, sir. That's all. Back to you guys, Bayani and Jonel.
So, this is the last question, sir. An additional question. What is your advice to the future architect or architecture students? Yes. What will be your advice to them? Or a motivational phrases?
I'm going to share this since you already included it in your PowerPoint. Uh, be a thermostat rather than being a thermometer.
Yeah. Nakita naman mo quote, sorry, mo favorite quote. Research it.
My uncle is also an architect, said that to me back when I was still in high school. Uh, you know what a thermostat is and you know what a thermometer is, right? The thermometer goes up and down depending on the temperature, right?
Temperature.
While a thermostat is fixed on a particular temperature.
Area.
So simply it means that you need to have goal. Set a goal, and then everything you do should be aligned to it. This is what I'm going to do next as I become an architect. Is having a jowa help me in becoming an architect? If yes, then by all means, mag-jowa ka. So you have to see, you have to evaluate everything that you do if it will contribute into your fulfilling your goal. To be a thermostat, have a fixed mind.
Yeah. Be a thermostat, guys.
Guys. Huwag kayong maging thermometer ha.
Yeah.
And sir, that is the end of our question. But before we officially end this, we would like to have a fast talk, if it's okay with you, sir.
Sure.
Yes.
Sir, ready sir, pag ready sir.
We will be giving you about 30 seconds to answer. So, are you ready, sir, architect?
Ready? Ready.
Okay, so here is the question. Manual or digital?
Digital.
Day or night?
Night.
Rotring or Stedler?
Government trained.
Public or private?
Private.
Wood or bamboo?
Sorry?
Wood or bamboo?
Bamboo.
Modern or classic?
Modern.
Quality or quantity?
Quality.
Local or international?
Local.
Lights on or lights off?
La.
Lights on.
So, that would be all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a heartwarming and knowledgeable interview with you, sir. And fun. Fast talk with you, architect. To officially end this interview, we, the student of Base Architecture 4A of SSU, Maine, would like to thank you for sharing your experience, ideas, and insights. We will also deliver to your address a token of gratitude for giving us your time and helping hand making this interview possible. Again, sir, from the bottom of our heart, we thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, at last, nag-iiwan po kami ng katagang for your plans and design.
Get
an
Architect.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
A pleasant day to each and everyone. To our instructor, AR Evan Joe Sinabaunag, JP, sir. Good evening po. To our fellow classmates, and most especially to our guest architect, Architect Gabriela Santos. Pero mamaya po may introduce ka namin or order pa. So yeah, ganun.
But before we proceed to our heart-to-heart interview, we would like first to introduce ourselves as the interviewer for today's gathering. So, I am Janelle
I
Abarquez,
am John Michael S. Bayani.
And I am Jillian Paragatos.
and we are BS Architecture 4A from Summer State University, Main Campus.
So now let us introduce our guest architect. So Architect Gabriela. He is Architect Maria Cecilia Gabriela is She's graduated in Eastern Visayas State University last 2000. She's a former architecture apprentice at Mori and PA Associate Incorporation in Makati City from August 2018 to February 2020. Yeah.
June 2022 passer, batch Sinagtala. Currently architect of City Planning and Development Office at Tacloban City. Michael?
So, yeah. Kahit konti na, may nalaman tayo about sa kanya. Thank you, Architect.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for... Thank you for
Hello, ma'am.
interview kayo, no? Today is our greatest honor for us to be able to meet you po. Again, thank you po. Now, let us proceed to our questions. Are you ready for architects?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay po. Great. Now, we have here 17 questions about your journey being an architecture student and now that you are already an architect. Start with that. So, question number 1 po. Was being an architect is your ultimate dream?
No, not at all. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a writer. I never imagined myself to be an architect. Even when I was in college, I didn't feel like I fit in, even during review. So, no. No.
Yeah. So, halos lahat naman tayo, no? Pero meron din talaga mga committed sa kung anong gusto nila naman na. So, at least naging architect ka. Yeah. So, second question po. What are the greatest challenges you've encountered being an architecture student and how you cope up with that?
As a student, I think the hardest part of being a student was trying to focus on your priorities, because usually at that age you don't really know what your main goal is even until you graduate. And then after you get your license, you think that you're done, but you're just getting started. So looking back, ano ba talaga yung priority ko? Yun. Staying motivated, doing the work. Yeah, because I experienced a lot of breakdowns during review, and the only thing that got me through was thinking, this is just a door. You know, the license, it's just a plastic card, and it's just a door. And what's important is what we do after getting the license, after passing the board exam.
Yes.
So yes, it's a big deal, but minimizing it helped me get through it.
So now that you are already an architect, ma'am, how do you cope up with those struggles?
I still can't believe I'm an architect. Oh my God. It's been like, what, 6 months? I don't know. I think I'm still in denial. I'm still processing what happened in the past 9 years, because a lot happened in the past 9 years. And I didn't go back to my previous job in Manila for many reasons, and now I'm here, and I applied like 4 times sa government, because I was thinking, sa government, I'm just gonna do reports. I won't have to design because I don't want to design. I don't want to create. I don't know. I just don't want to, because I'm still in denial.
Baka
But
pa,
unfortunately, like, yung work ko ngayon, I am tasked to design all these buildings, these structures for like farmers, social workers. So instead of just doing reports, somehow I ended up designing on my own now. So it's not what I wanted, but it encouraged me that maybe this is really where I'm meant to be. Maybe I'm really supposed to be an architect. So
Plan for the
yes, ma'am. Medyo nako-culture shock pa lang siguro. No?
it's been 9 years. So
Like,
Siguro humble din naman si Ma'am eh. Parang humble siya.
I don't know, endless process. Yeah.
so continue po tayo. Parang dream come true pero
Okay.
reverse. Yeah. So continue po tayo, ma'am.
Okay.
Have you ever felt the feeling of being a failure? Did you have a failing grade or INC? To your minor or major
Oh my
subject?
gosh, so many. Sige, continue your question, sorry.
How does it make you feel and how did you cope up with it?
Okay. I think the first time I've ever felt like a complete failure was when I didn't make the cut for UP, because I was actually supposed to go to UP Los Baños. I applied for UP Diliman and UP Los Baños, but I didn't make the cut
for the grade. It was very tragic for me because at the time the passing grade for UP in Los Baños was 2.42, and when I got my letter showing my GPA ba tawag doon, my score,
Yeah.
it was 2.427. So it was so close. And I wouldn't be an architect right now if I'd gotten into UP Las Bañas. I would have been like a writer or something else. Because the course I applied was development communication. So I actually tried to get a reconsideration, and I got reconsideration, but a lot happened, like family things and everything. So I ended up in Eastern Visayas State University with the course architecture not because I wanted to study architecture, but because EBSU is known for like being a good school for architects, for architecture, the course architecture. So that's the only reason why I started studying architecture. So siguro I'm not inspirational in a sense that I've always wanted to be an architect. I'm inspirational in the sense that for those who never wanted to be an architect, look at me now. At least I represent those people. I'm sorry, what was the question?
You answered it already, ma'am.
Yep.
Oh, I did. Okay.
So next po. Who is your driving force that pushes you to continue despite all the problems and hardships? Who's the driving force?
The one who agreed.
The reason, little backstory first. The reason why I wanted to be a writer way back when I was in high school was because I wanted to make a difference. And I thought that if I could write something, it would like somehow, it's like I wanted to be like Zarizal, Martin Luther. And I wanted to help the poor. At that time, I was what, 15 years old, 16. Yeah. So I was very discouraged when I realized that architecture was very luxurious, and although I had fun, I got to experience the luxury. I got to meet a lot of people, and I got exposed to different kinds of lifestyles, especially when I worked in Makati. But we can't deny that most of our clients are mostly the rich, those who can afford it. But now that I work for the government, I work with the government, I serve the people. So, and right now, my driving force with one project are the end users, who are actually agriculturists and farmers. So they're the ones that push me. Like, I have to work even though I don't get paid on weekends. I have to read, I have to plan, I have to work, because I don't want to give them like a half-assed design. I want to give them the best service because they deserve it.
So your driving force are the people person.
Yeah.
Gusto makatulong talaga. Agang namulat sa katotohanan na mag-15 years. Yeah. So, next po. Tell us about your preparation in taking the architecture licensure examination.
Okay. Funny story. The board exam was a roller coaster ride because a lot happened during the year 2019 personally. So my decision to resign and just take the board exam was not well planned, and when I finally resigned and when I started my review, a month later the pandemic started. So it just kept getting postponed and postponed. How did I prepare? It was like 2 years worth of preparing, and I guess the best way to answer that is I prepared it with my friends. So being with them, reviewing with them, they go to my house like almost every day, and we help each other. We review together, and that was the best experience during review.
So it's like worst to best.
Yeah,
So ganun.
silver lining.
Next question will be, from the famous phrase, customer is always right, do you think that clients are always right?
No, not at all. No, I don't think so. I don't. No. There are famous architects who actually choose their clients. They have the privilege of choosing their clients, like Manyosa. Like he doesn't want to work with clients who won't agree with his principle, which is Filipino architecture. And then there's also this other architect. I forgot his name. I reviewed him. I reviewed him. Basta his principle was minimalism, consumerism. So for me, no, the client isn't always right, and we have to be very careful in choosing the clients we represent because we shouldn't like sacrifice or jeopardize our principles just for a job.
As an architect, how do you deal with the clients who are obstinate and still want to pursue their dream design even when you already told them and educate them that it is too risky?
Let them go. That's it. Let them go. Marami pang architects dyan, marami pang clients dyan, marami pang opportunities dyan. No, I know my worth, Charm. No, I don't wanna jeopardize my principles for anyone.
Kasi minsan di na nasusunod sa standard po, no?
Yeah.
Kung anong
Plus, we have our own personal standards. Like, if we want to pursue green architecture and that's not the priority of the client, like he just wants to make money, business first, and that's not who you are, then no. You let him go. Marami pang clients.
let them go, guys. Let them go.
Too risky. Next question will be, as a human being, we tend to make mistakes. The question is, how will you deal with your clients who are angry because you have mistakes in your proposed design which cost them double their expenses?
So the main challenge I experienced all throughout was really just accepting that this is the path that I have to be in. I'm going to be an architect, whether I want it or not, and everything in between. Like I had to deal with storms, literally storms, Yolanda, and the pandemic, and people died. Man, people died. Yeah, just a lot of personal challenges. So, yeah. Hi.
good evening, Cecilia Gabriela. The next question is, do you think there are still competitions toward architects and engineers?
Yes. Yes. Oh, not really. I wouldn't say competition. I think I would better use the term confusion between architects and engineers because it's still pretty unclear, especially in provinces, because like working for the government, like there are still engineers who do the planning and design. Yeah. So there's still an ongoing confusion between the two.
Okay. Um, yeah. My next question, ma'am, is what do you do when procrastinating strikes?
I sleep. I sleep. No, really, because I know that sometimes we have this feeling that we really just can't move, can't do anything, and we just have to take a break. I don't force myself to work when I really can't. But when I do work, I work excessively. I work a lot. Like, yeah.
Okay, that's relatable, ma'am. Relatable. As an architect, in some time, are you planning on making your own architecture firm? If so, what is your insight?
I think that it's actually very nice that your younger generations are now being taught the business of architecture, unlike when we were still studying. As for me deciding whether I should have my own firm or not, I'm open to it, but right now I don't see it happening because I am aware of the resources that I don't have. So I'd rather just focus on working for the government, working for the people. Yeah, that's my priority right now.
But she's open to it.
Okay, ma'am. So here's the next question. In your opinion, do you think your grades in college can secure your better future?
My grades. I don't even know if they look at it when we apply. Honestly, I when I applied, they barely looked at my TOR. I'm not sure what they looked at. But I mean, it's still an advantage. But I think that it's not the only thing they look at. So if like you have a failing grade, you have an IMC, you shouldn't get discouraged. Keep pushing until you graduate and then get a job. Okay. Yes. Know your priorities.
Yes, good manners.
Basta mabait. So here's my next question po. What can you say about the pace for your plans and design get an architect?
What can I say about what?
The phrase for your plans and design get an architect.
I think it's true. It should be obvious, but it's not, and it's weird that we have to fight for it. We have to endorse it because in other countries it's like super obvious, but unfortunately it's not here. But yeah.
Here in Philippines kasi, for your plans and design, get an carpenter.
at least we're getting there. At least my improvement from like 30 years ago. At least my RA 1966 na. So, yes.
Okay, now so here is our last question. Oh, question. Advice na po. What advice can you give to all aspiring architects to their architecture journey?
Okay. I honestly I don't think that I'm qualified enough to give advice, but for like the people who are like me, na who don't believe that they're on the right path, who never wanted this, or you know, are just completely discouraged. I think you should just do what you think is right. It's very broad because we have different definitions of what's right, and kasi all our designs, they affect everyone, like from the very beginning, like from one piece of concrete, one CHB. One CHB, it's like, do you guys know where it's mined? the raw materials we get, and then the environment that's affected, it's all connected. So we should take into account everything, and we should be very responsible with how we consume things, because it's not just what we buy, it's also what we design. I'm so sorry. I don't want to be preachy, but like that's what I always think whenever I'm designing, or whenever I just do anything, like whenever I buy anything, like, do I need this? Because I know where this came from. I know how this was produced. Am I making sense?
Yes, very honest.
Kumakain ka po ng meat.
No.
Ah,
Because I know where they're produced. I know the abuse na nasa slaughterhouse. So, no, I don't eat this.
so,
Acceptable.
thank you very much. But before we officially end this, we would like to have a fast talk with you. Is it okay, ma'am? We will be giving you 30 seconds to answer po. Are you ready, ma'am? Okay. Now the timer starts on.
Did mo tanong? Stay. Stay there. Private. Bamboo. Modern. Quality. Local.
Nice. Alam, maubos na tayo.
Lights off!
Thank you very much po.
Thank you, ma'am.
That was
Thank you for your advice.
That was a heartwarming and knowledgeable interview, and a fan fast talk with Jared.
Very honest.
To officially end this interview, we, the student of this architecture for of SSU, would like to thank you for sharing your experience, ideas, and insights. We will also deliver to your address po at okay na po our gratitude for giving us your time.
Aw, thank you.
And a helping hand making this interview possible. Again po, from the bottom of our heart, we thank you po.
We thank you.
At kami ay mag-iwan ng
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
for your plans and designs. Get an
Get an architect.
Thank you po, ma'am. pleasant day to each and everyone. To our instructor, Architect Evan John C. Nabaunan, to our fellow classmates, and most especially to our guest architect, Architect Rolando R. Marmita. Pleasant day po, sir.
Roll, Roland lang.
Yeah.
But before we proceed to our heart-to-heart interview, we would like first to introduce ourselves as the interviewer of today's gathering. So I am Janelle Ann Abarca.
I am John Michael Bayani.
I am Rizabella Pahanonot. And I am Jillian Paragatos.
And we are BS Architecture 4A from SSU Main Campus. Michael?
Okay po, sir. Now, let us introduce our guest architect. So here, Jillian Paragatos will share her screen po.
Let us first introduce our guest architect. Next slide, please. So, our guest architect is Architect Roland Armar.
He studied at Mapua of Technology in Manila. Graduated in Eastern Visayas State University Main Campus, batch 2018. He's passed board exam in August 2021, so recent lang. So, he's also a principal architect at M Architect and a part-time lecturer at EBSU Tanawan Campus. His mentor is Architect Cebuak Torino B. Nalda. Ito.
Severino.
Okay, sir. Sorry po.
Yung U8 parang na-move yan sa dun sa ano, sa in between Sev and Erino.
Ay, okay po, sir. We'll edit later po.
For
Thank you
the
for correction, sir.
mistakes.
So,
Lagot kayo eh. Instructor yan.
okay po.
So,
So, good day po, Architect. Thank you po for allowing us na ma-interview kayo ngayon. And it is our greatest honor for us to be able to meet you po. Again, thank you po. Now, let us proceed to our questions. Are you ready po, Architect?
Thank you din. Hindi na rin.
Great po. Now we have here 17 questions about your journey being an architecture student and now that you are already a licensed architect. So the first question is, was being an architect is your ultimate dream?
Yes, yun talaga. I love drawing and sketching since birth, Charles. Since nursery pa. Siguro yung medyo ano pa ako, medyo baby pa. Medyo pa ano pa lang. Nagdo-drawing na talaga ako. So, yun talaga yung first choice ko. Architect.
So since birth pala parang na
Fine arts pala. Parang gusto ko na ng fine arts dati. Pero gusto ko yung construction eh. So,
architect.
Same. Next question. Kay
next
Bayan.
question po, sir. What are the greatest challenges you've encountered being an architecture student and how you cope up with it po?
siguro na-experience nyo rin yan. Yung feeling na overload ka sa schedule mo. Tapos yung puyat na puyat ka, walang ligo-ligo. Ano ba yung unahin mong gagawin? Yung minor mo ba o yung major subject? Yung plates, yung quizzes, di ba? Nagkakasabay-sabay. And how I cope it, paano ba? Time management. Ako, pag binigay sa akin yung assignment and then yung plates, that day, pag uwi ko sa bahay, inumpisahan ko na agad. Ginagawa ko na talaga siya. Wala akong sinasayang na oras. So yun, time management talaga as in.
So guys, avoid procrastinating. Yes.
Practice time management.
So now we have a technique na. Have you next question, sir? Have you ever felt the
Yes.
feeling of being a failure? Did you have a failing grade or INC to any your minor or major subject? How does it make you feel and how did you cope up with it?
Teka, ang dami nun ah. Teka. Sa ano ba yun? Sa feeling of failure, siguro, ano, sa academic, wala naman siguro. Sa ibang bagay, tao lang tayo, siyempre. Nakakaroon tayo ng pakiramdam na parang down. Sa ibang bagay. Sa academic, failing grades siguro, hindi ko na-experience sa EBSU. So yun, kung na-experience ako noon, nagpe-pray lang ako. Yun yung ano talaga. Hindi ko dinidibdib ang bagay-bagay. Yun lang yung technique doon.
Best way is to pray.
Just ano, follow the flow lang. Relax ka lang, oh. Prayer ka lang, oh.
Okay po. Thank
Ganon lang.
Thank you for that, sir. So, here's the
Nice.
next question.
Okay, next question.
Who is your driving force that pushes you to continue despite all the problems and hardships?
Actually, wala naman. Ako lang. Wala tayong dapat sisihin or iasa sa iba. Dahil tayo yung ano, di ba? Tayo yung arkitekto at inhinyero ng buhay natin. Ginagawa natin to dahil gusto natin. Para sa future natin. Sa pangarap natin, di ba? And para sa pamilya, siyempre, sino magbe-benefits. Importante talaga ay dahil gusto natin yung ginagawa natin. Yun lang.
Passion.
Yes.
Yes. Kung gusto natin, no need na yung mga driving force.
Oh, tayo yung arkitekto. Oh, tayo yung arkitekto ng buhay natin.
Very well, sir.
I agree.
So,
Own driving force.
sir, can you tell us about your preparation in taking the architecture licensure exam?
Ano yun? From the review ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ako nag-review ako sa JPT. 2020, year 2020, before mag-lockdown, but naabutan ako ng lockdown sa Cebu. Hindi, siguro papasok ako no sa from Cebu. Papasok ako na, hindi nag-announce si Duterte ng mag-lockdown. So, umuwi agad ako. So, hindi ko natapos yung critic eh. Parang hindi pa na-umpisa. Utilities lang yata. Tapos, short review na lang ako. Tagal ng ng parang ang tagal ng, so yun, short review, yung mga notes ko sa JPT, and di ba June 2020 postpone na, tapos January 2021 postpone ulit, and then June ulit postpone ulit. So medyo torture yun. But August actually stock knowledge lang yung yung ginawa ko doon.
Wow.
Sa review ko.
Wow.
To be honest talaga, yung ko lang yun. Tapos, hindi na ako, nag-withdraw na talaga ako sa aking, review center. Nag-self-review na lang ako. And then, my friend called me and gusto nila makipag-collab sa akin na review. 3 weeks before, represser nila sa Arc Studio. Tapos, sige, sama ako pa kasi para So, stock knowledge ko yung JPT and then Arc Studio refresher 3 weeks before the exam. So, malaking bagay yun. Talaga pinag-combine ko siya. So, yun. Awa ng Diyos, nakapasa naman. Malaking bagay yung sa JPT actually. Malaking bagay. Ayun sa pala, yung sa Arc Studio, yung refresher. Pinukusan ko yun.
So,
Yun lang.
So,
Parang sige, yun na lang yun. Basta yun. Basta.
Go with the flow, sabi natin.
examination. Nakipag-collab ka pala sa mga
Oo, technique yun. Gawin nyo, ano, pag nag-review kayo, di ba, ano kayo, art studio. So, makipag-collab kayo dun sa ibang, ano, ibang review center para dagdag. Okay? Ganun lang. Technique yun.
Thank you, sir, for the tips. Now, let us proceed to the next question. From the famous phrase, customer is always right, do you think that clients are always right?
No. Kasi ano, kaya nga tayo hinari is to guide them, the client, and to give clients satisfaction. Yun. Actually, I've experienced to work with, before ako mag-architect, ang tawag dito, customer service industry like, nag-Jollibee ako, nag-SM, Manila, and then nag-Robinson din ako, salesman. So, sa pagkakaintindi ko dyan, yung yung quote na yan, yung customer is always right. Wag makikipag-debate sa sa customer.
Client.
Similarly sa sa client natin. Instead, you have to to apologize kung may pagkakamali tayo in relation to tawag dito, in relation to his or her complaint. But of course, alamin muna natin yung yung problema before tayo mag-apologize, di ba? And tayo yung tayo mag-mitigate or tawag dito, to have solution for that particular problem. So yun naman talaga yung trabaho natin. Yun, that's it.
So, you need to apologize for the mistake and correct.
Siyempre, we are the architect. Mas nakakaalam tayo.
The professionals.
Yes.
So, let us proceed to the next question, sir. So, as an architect, how do you deal with these clients who are obstinate and still want to pursue their dream design, even if you already told them and educate them that it is too risky?
Teka. Meron tayong di ba, design process.
Yes, sir.
So, alam niyo na yun siguro, di ba? So, doon pa lang dapat, dine-educate natin yung dinidiscuss lahat-lahat sa client para na-orient yung client na tama. Challenge talaga yan. Yung kung paano ma-educate yung client. Medyo may mga client talaga matitigas ang ulo, may pilit ang gusto nila.
Yes.
Di ba? But at the end of the day, we are architect, di ba? Tayo ang mas may alam dapat. Dapat. Quote talaga, dapat. And be confident to what we are saying. Tayo ang tayo yung mag-guide sa kanila. Kaya nga tayo hinar. So, yun lang. Be confident but be humble and polite.
Yes.
Approach in a polite way.
Yes. In a polite way.
Yeah.
Next question,
yeah.
sir. As a human being, we tend to make mistakes. The question is, how will you deal with your clients who are angry because you have mistakes in your proposed design, which cost them double their expenses?
Similar yan sa question number 6, parang gano'n, di ba? Customer is always right. Tama ba? So, you have to apologize lang. But, take note, avoid this mistake kasi may civil liabilities tayo. So, do our job as a licensed architect. Huwag tayo pabaya sa trabaho natin. This is our responsibility to give client satisfaction. That's
Agree.
it. Mm.
Yes, yung ready for that, sir.
So, next question, sir, for me. What is the importance of following the building code? And if not, what will be the consequences?
Building code. Di ba ito yung nagseset ng standard natin pag-design?
Yes po.
So, yan yung dictionary natin ng arkitekto. Di ba? yung i-apply mo yung setbacks, building height, di ba? Etc. Marami pang mga rules, especially Rule 7 and 8. Sa review nyo, ano nyo yan, try to familiarize the Rule 7 and 8. Rule 12, actually. But actually, lahat naman talaga siya. From Rule 1 hanggang sa dulo. How many rules yun? Hindi ko kabisado talaga. Binabalik-balikan ko din yan. Siyempre, kung hindi mo sundin yun, failure of design, hindi mo ma-reach yung satisfaction ni client. And then, ano ba ba tawag doon? Mistakes. Kung nag-ano tayo. So, imprisonment. Pwede ka makulong eh. Di ba? Kung hindi mo masundin yung ano doon. Meron doon. Actually, meron doon. Hindi lang sa building code, nasa SPP din natin.
What are
Kailangan
the
natin mga
penalties
pertinent.
pag hindi nasunod?
Yun, may imprisonment. May imprisonment. And then meron ding penalty si client. Kung, di ba, walang building permit. So, may nakalagay doon nasa, nakalimutan ko sang rule yun eh. Nasa may bandang unahan lang yun. Basahin nyo yung yung National Building Code.
So hindi lang pala si architect, si client din.
May si client din. Pero dapat ino-orientan si client para maiwasan yun yung karoon ng penalty. So, sasabihin sa client na, ma'am, sir, kailangan natin mag-provide muna ng permit before tayo mag-start ng construction kasi mape-penalty tayo. Magiging tayo, violator. So, this is law yan eh. Yung National Building Code is a law. So, wala tayong lusot dyan.
Dapat maging careful tayo, sir.
Yes.
Always sumunod sa law. And guys,
Oh.
buksan nyo na yung
That
mga
is,
bungo.
our job.
Nakatenga lang.
Oo, lagi niyong binabasa yan. Kasama nyo na yan habang buhay yan. Sa inyong, sa ating profession.
So, next question, sir. What are the greatest challenge you've encountered when you were reviewing for the exam and now that you are already a licensed architect?
Love life. Charot. Pandemic. Pandemic talaga. Postponing ng mga na mga tawag dito, ng exam. Nakaka-torture 'yon. Yung momentum mo nandoon na tapos postpone. Biglang diba, na-experience yun, nag-review ka, nandoon ang momentum, tapos walang pass.
Yes, may exam.
Pagka,
So yun,
Always delayed.
pagka next meeting,
yun talaga yung
tawagan ka na eh.
yun talaga yung torture doon, yung postponement, yung pandemic talaga. Hindi mo alam kung mag-aano ba talaga, kung mag-aano talaga to, matutuloy yung exam. Review ko na review tapos 1 week before the exam, naghihintay pa rin kami ng ng postponement or or matuloy ba eh. So yun, nakaka-torture, nawawala yung yung concentration mo.
Nakakawalang gana ba, sir, pag ganun? Kasi,
Sobra talaga. As in. Kasi yung, di ba pag exam tayo, nagme-memorize tayo, anong tawag dito, nagpa-familiarize. Tapos,
yes,
di ba pag after exam, di ba wash out na? Para nakalimutan mo na agad. Oo, yun. Yun talaga yung medyo challenging talaga yung grabe yung postponement 3 beses eh. Buti ba kung lang yun, kung 1 day lang yung gap nun. Months. Di ba? 5 months, 6 months, parang ganun. Tapos, grabe. Kapagod yun.
Pero naging architect din.
Ay.
Yeah.
Konti lang kami nag-take nung August. Dito. Sa Tacloban kami nag-take eh. Buti na lang.
Yes.
okay, guys, next question.
Tapos na ba? Meron pa?
Yes, sir. Next question will be asked by our member, Julia.
We pass the mic to them, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm Julian, sir. So here's my questions for you. First, do you think there are still competitions toward architects and engineers?
I think so. Parang meron siguro sa kanila. Pero ako naman engineers are are allied profession.
Mhm.
So hindi mabubuo yung isang building kung wala rin sila. Wala rin tayo. So collaboration. Tayo pa rin yung prime professional. The plan is start with us. 'Di ba? And then follow the engineers. So
Partners.
partners pa lang, collaboration. Hindi pwedeng lang tayo lang. Hindi pwedeng sila lang din. Yan. Kaya nga meron tayong architectural is for architectural. Engineering plan is for the engineers, di ba? That's
Thank
it.
you for that. So here's my next question po. What do you think what do you do when procrastinating strikes?
Ano ba yan? Pag hinuhubya ba yan?
Yes, sir. Procrastinating.
Siguro, ako pag hinuhubya ako, natutulog muna ako. Nagko-copy ako. Subukan mo mag-copy tapos matulog. Ano mangyayari? Makatulog ka ba nun?
Ako, sir. Oo.
Hindi, mag-hallucinate ka nun. Tutulog ka tapos nag-iisip ka. So, ma-inspire ka. Ako, ang ginagawa ko rin minsan, ganun nga, ginagawa ko, nagko-copy ako, hindi nag-iisip. Gumuni-muni. Hindi ka talaga makatulog kasi copy. Ang ginagawa ko rin, gumagala rin ako. Nagumagala muna ako. Ayun. Tapos, hanap ako ng motivation. Ano lang yun.
Same.
So, matulog lang daw si sir. Tapos mag-coffee.
Yun ba yung tanong? Yun ba yun? Yung hinuhubya?
Yes,
Parang,
sir.
parang di mo alam kung paano umpisahan yun sa trabaho.
Yes, sir.
Yan, hanap ka na muna motivation, love life, something like that.
Parang rest mo na lang din.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Mag-around the world ka muna. Ganon.
My next question po. As an architect, in some time, are you planning on making your own architecture firm? If so, what is your insight?
So far, nasa academe ako ngayon. Nakapokus muna ako doon. But, may mga naman ako, may mga, yung RM Architects, lang yan, page ko lang yan, FB page. So, hindi pa siya registered actually sa, anong tawag doon, sa SEC, sa DTI, yan. So, I'm planning, but so far, nag-academe muna ako and then tinatapos ko ang aking masteral, construction management. So, mahirap mag-divide ng time. So, focus ka muna sa goal mo muna bago yun. Pero, meron talaga. So, yun naman talagang dream natin lahat, di ba? Magkaroon ng sariling firm. So, lang muna. Small time projects.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Good luck, sir, for that.
So, next, again, sir, I am Rizabelia, and here are my questions for you. In your opinion, do you think your grades in college can secure your better future?
Teka. Tayo para arkitekto ng natin, di ba sabi ko sa iyo noon kanina, tayo pa rin arkitekto ng buhay natin. Tayo yung gagawa ng path natin. Tayo yung nag-design, tayo rin naman po-construct ng buhay natin. So, yung grades, parang lang yun. Yun nga, nagdi-dictate lang yun sa natin, parang meron tayong stock knowledge, magagamit natin yun sa application. Siyempre, kung wala ka ring alam, gumraduate ka ng parang wala lang, so, ang application, magbaback to zero ka, magbabasa ka. So, malaking bagay din yung academic natin. So, yun. But, application, tayo pa rin talaga.
So, meron talaga, sir, contribution pa rin. Mga natutunan sa college.
Oo naman. Malaking bagay din.
We are the builders of our own.
Saka yung natin, mga instructor natin, nagbibigay sila ng
Yeah, and technique.
Late mo na naman nalaman na ito yung sinabi ni sir, ito yung sinabi ni ma'am. Malaking bagay yung ano natin, yung malaking bagay yung presence ng ating mga instructor sa college. Mentors natin.
Thanks for that, sir. My next question is, what can you say about the phrase, for your plans and design, get an architect?
Simple lang yan. Architectural is for architect. For the architects. Yun lang naman yan. Yun yung ibig sabihin talaga para sa akin. Wag mong pirmahan kundi ka man arkitekto.
Yeah.
Not for the other professionals.
Sorry, baka mag-viral. wala akong pinatatamaan. Basta yun lang. Yung for your plans and design, get an architect.
Get an architect.
Architectural plan is for architect.
Yeah.
Yan yung parang umano sa akin. Ganun.
Okay, sir. Thank you for that. My next question is, what advice can you give to all aspiring architects to their architecture journey? What advice can you tell us?
Huwag kayong ma-stress. Follow the flow lang.
Oh, sir.
Di ba 4th year pa lang kayo, di ba? So, follow the flow lang. Yung thesis, basta, time management din. Importante yan, yung time management. Kasi kung wala yan, di mo alam kung paano umpisahan, paano mo tatapusin yung isang bagay. I-divide mo yung sarili mo. So, 4th year to 5th year medyo overloaded na yan. May sasabay pang mga minors. May mga minors pa ba kayo?
Yes, sir.
So, and then sa journey nyo, after yun ng graduation, apprentice kayo kasi yung mga tanong sa mga questions dun sa board exam sa ALE, nasa sa actual mostly. May mga tanong doon na may encounter kayo na doon nyo lang na-encounter sa inyong pag-OJT. Siyempre, mag-OJT kayo sa mga architect para wag din sa engineer kasi iba naman kasi yung allied doon ibang but kung may mga dagdag points din na may mga nakukuha knowledge from the engineer kasi lalo na sa mga structural and then other sa mga utilities, pwede rin yung makakuha ng mga ideas or mga some knowledge tips. Diba? Tapos sa review, wag masyadong focus, but focus. Ano yun? Ano yung ibig sabihin ko nun? Wag masyadong focus, but focus. Focus ka sa review, but magkaroon ka pa rin ng time mo sa para yung routine mo rin, nagpe-Facebook ka pa rin, nag-Google, nag-Netflix. So, pag kasi more on study ka lang, para overloaded, parang nasabog yung mo. Tapos parang zombie. Parang nerd na nun. So, parang memorize. Pagdating doon sa board exam, patay. Na-stack up na. Kasi nag-memorize. Parang wag kayo mag-memorize just to understand all the questions and mga situational. Comprehensive yung board exam. Hindi talaga memorize. Siguro merong part na may memorize mo, but mostly doon comprehension yung mga atake doon sa exam. Ginawa yung exam para ihulog kayo hindi para pumasa Oo. Talagang sinasala niya talaga. And then lahat ng subject, wag niyong pabayaan. Wala dapat pag nag-review kayo, wala dapat kayo malalaktawan, dapat nabasa niyo. Para pag may tanong pag may question doon na hindi nyo masagot, at least na-eliminate nyo. Hindi ito. So, ito yun, sigurado. Ganon. May by elimination. Ganon yung mga sagot ko karamihan doon. By elimination. Tapos may mga tanong din doon na out of nowhere. Wala talaga sa ni-review. doon mo makikita sa kung nagfe-Facebook ka, nag-Google ka, nag-YouTube ka, doon mo makikita.
Yes.
So si yung gumagawa ng question is alam niya na kayo nakaputok lang doon sa sa ni-review nyo. So maghahanap yan ng question na wala doon sa ni-review nyo, but may something na related doon sa for example sa architecture. For example, meron doon tanong na pwede ba ilabas yun? Wag na lang baka kasi meron mga social issues, political issues, yan, meron yan. Kaya yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na mag-time management kayo, wag lang kayo puro review lang, rin kayo, mag-internet din kayo. Kasi minsan nandun din ang tanong. Pero mga konti lang naman yun. Especially nga social issues, saka environmental issues. Nandun yun. Baka may lumabas pa rin. So take note nyo lang.
Yeah.
Yun lang.
Thank you for that advice, sir. That was our last question, and we're going to pass the mic for Bayani and Abarkes.
So, thank you for that advice, sir. Madadala po talaga namin yan.
It's very helpful po talaga.
Yes. Since we are fourth year na po, malapit-lapit na.
Yeah.
So, and that is
Yung thesis nyo, yan. Diba?
and that is the end of our questions po. But before we officially end this, we would like to have a fast talk with you, sir. Is it okay po? Fast talk po. We will be giving you 30 seconds to answer. Are you ready po, architect?
Yes.
Timer starts now.
The question is, manual or digital?
Digital?
Or night?
Hala, sir.
What?
Time.
Night?
Rotring or Stedler?
Rotring?
Public or private?
Private?
Wood or bamboo?
Wood?
Modern or classic?
Modern?
Quality or quantity?
Quality?
Local or international?
Local?
Lights on or lights off?
With dimmer?
Dim lang.
So, thank you very much, sir. That was a heartwarming and knowledgeable interview and fast talk with you po, architect. To officially end this interview, we the student of BS Architecture 4A of Samar State University main campus would like to thank you for sharing your experience, ideas, and insights. And we will also deliver to your address a token of gratitude po for giving us your time and helping hand making this interview possible. Again po, from the bottom of our heart, we thank you po, architect.
We thank you. Thank you, sir.
At kami
Thank
po
you
ay
din.
mag-iiwan ng katagang for your plans and design. Get an architect.
Get an architect.
Sir, thank you po.
Thank you, Sir Roland.